Good morning, everybody. This is Desiree, founder of An Empowered Woman and Homework. And Homework is where you can live where you work where you live, anywhere in the world. And every Wednesday morning, we meet and we share for coffee and conversations, and we share different business ideas, best practices, information, motivation, and just an opportunity for us to get together as a community and share our expertise. Today, I'm going to talk about virtual events. This seems to be really, really popular. It was definitely popular last year during the pandemic, and we thought we were about to have live events again. And now I think that many people are having still to resort back to virtual events. So if you didn't get it narrowed down and dialed in before, maybe now's the time to be able to go and kind of really dial in and do it. And in any event, many people are thinking of it as part of their business. Even when they do live events, they're either going to do a hybrid live events where at that live event, they'll have a virtual option. So people that can't join them, especially people that are out of the area, out of the country, can join them. They can still be able to monetize those, attendees, or people are doing it in addition to. They'll do live events, but they'll do supplemental virtual events for, again, people that are just, that are not coming out yet. And even after they come out, being able to monetize it, because it's much less expensive to produce them. It's much easier. There's a lot less moving parts. You don't have to worry about the location, the food, the parking, the VA systems, all the different things, the technology, the team, the staff you'd have to have checking people in, checking people out, things of that type is much easier. So some people have really embraced the virtual events model. Virtual events means, again, just doing it virtually. Many people use Zoom. It's a great, easy platform. You can do a event up to 1,000 people for a minimal charge, or you can do it as a webinar. You can have up to 5,000 people. But most of the time, just even doing it as a meeting, you're able to do that. You're able to have breakout rooms. You're able to have interaction. You're able to record it. You're able to record it live on YouTube and or Facebook Live. So that's a lot of easy functionality, as well as the fact that not only do you have the video, but you have the audio. So you'll be able to take the audio and use that for a podcast or anything else that you want to be able to utilize it for. But there are a lot of other new platforms out there that have come out in the last year. A lot of them are more interactive. A lot of them have more visuals. So depending on what you're wanting to do, as to which one you want to use. But today we're on Zoom, so that a lot of people are familiar with Zoom, and I think that's easier. So when you're thinking about doing a virtual event, the first thing to think about is why. Okay, why do you want to do this event? What's your reasoning for doing the event? Are you doing it? What's your purpose? Are you doing it to bring a vision alive, to create a community? Are you doing it for more visibility, just to be able to get more visible amongst, all other different communities, or just in the internet itself? Are you doing it to get more connections with other people? Is it an opportunity for you to invite other people to be on your event so that you can develop relationships and also be invited on their stage, so to speak? Are you doing it to generate revenue, to make money? Are you doing it to build your list? Are you doing it simply to build your list so that you can get more and more people involved? Are you doing it for content? Is this content that you want to create for your magazine, for your YouTube videos, for your blogs, for your website, for a class or program that you want to be able to record and upsell later? Why are you doing the event? What is the purpose? So once you have your purpose, then you'll be able to determine what your desired outcome is going to be. So again, when you're saying, why do I want to be able to connect with 5 other industry leaders, so that I could tap into their communities, or I want to build my list by 1,000 more people a month, or I want to interact with my social media more, or I want to be able to create more videos, and get more subscribers. So again, be very, very clear on your desired outcome. That way you can, if you have a goal, it's easier to reach it. And then charge or no charge. Is this going to be a free event that you're doing for, again, lead generation, for connections, for visibility, credibility, or is it going to be something that you'll do for revenue, that you're strictly doing to monetize? Because that will decide, am I going to promote an event and sell people or charge people to attend the event? or I'm going to do an event and then at the event upsell people to another program. So you can say, I want to charge people to be on this event. And you need to find out what your community is. And again, we'll talk about what your content is going to be, but I'm going to charge people to be on this event. So that means you're going to have to do promotions. Are you going to promote it through your social media? Are you going to promote it through emails? Are you going to promote it through webinars in which you tell a little bit about the event and get people to buy at the webinars and pay a ticket? Could be anywhere from $97 to $1,970. I mean, whatever price point you want, you can sell tickets to be on this event and people will pay it and show it up for it. Or do you want to do the event as a series of events so that you can get people excited and ignited and then sell at the event? Say, hey, come to my class or to my program or whatever it is. So again, be very clear on what you want to do so that you can, design it accordingly. Then you think of like when, what date, what time, how long, what title is going to be. So how long? So it's going to be during the day. Is it going to be the evening? Is it morning? Is it afternoon? That determines whether you have mostly people in the same time zone or you're appealing to people on a multiple time zones. If you're appealing to people in the multiple time zones, no time is going to be the perfect time because it's going to be either too early or too late for some people or the other. But so find out what the majority of your list is and go with the majority of the people. And then everybody else can actually join from there. That's one advantage of if you want to have recordings, they can always see it in different time zones thereafter, but we'll get to that later. Decide when time, is it going to be again an hour? Is it going to be a morning? Or is it going to be a series of events? And that depends on your audience. If your audience are working people where they work 9 to 5, then the weekends may be the best or evenings may be the best. If your people are entrepreneurs and they have a flexible schedule, then you can do it during the day or a lunch hour. So just think about that, how long it's going to be. Then when you think about how long it's going to be, that depends on what content you want to share. Are you going to share, for us, our example was the Power of 7, and so we shared this different parts of the Power of 7, different days, on 5 different days. We shared different parts of it. But if you have a program that's maybe for 4 modules long, then are you going to, if this is the actual event where the people paid to be on, then how are you going to distribute that information in a way that you give them information, but you don't overwhelm them with information? So think about what you want to deliver, what your deliverables are, and how long you're going to need to be able to do that. I suggest not long. I've seen some like where they're 12 days, 10 days. I don't suggest more than really 4 days and maybe a 5th day as a bonus day or something like that, because people just have too much going on and they just don't stay attended. The best if you can immerse it into a full day or a full weekend or for longer sessions, especially now that some people are back out at work, out and about for social reasons, for school starting, things of that type. They weren't quarantined, so they don't have the option of really sitting still for a long period of time. So take that into consideration. So how long and how much are you going to do the event? Your pricing is going to be not based on necessarily how much time you spend at the event, it's what your deliverables are, what people will be able to do or not do or learn how to do or be as a result of taking your program. So that's what you don't think, okay, I've got to charge them. If I'm charging them $1,000, I've got to give them, weekday after day after day. Busy people would prefer to have the information short and sweet and be able to go out and be making money or utilizing that program as opposed to dragging their time out for day after day. So that's in consideration. But one of the biggest things is, who do you want to attend? Who is your target market? It can't be every and anybody. We want women professionals and entrepreneurs. Some programs we want women professionals and entrepreneurs that are 6 figures and above. Some programs we want women professionals and entrepreneurs that are 7 figures and above. But that's it. So different ones, different events will be appeal to different people. What do you want? Who do you want? Who do you want more of? Who's the client that just gets your program, pulls out the credit card without a lot of sales, without a lot of follow-up, without a lot of that part? Who do you want more of? Who's been your best client so far? And that's how I go about it. Like, who was my best client? Who did I share what I was doing, why I was doing it? They got it, they registered, and they've participated. It's not just paying for it, but we want people that are going to participate, that's going to be engaged in your program, because that's where your testimonials, that's where your referrals, and that's where your repeat audience come from. So paying for it is not the ticket. People that actually can benefit from it and that will do the work to receive the results that you want to deliver for them. So who do you want more of? And then once you find out who you want more of, that also help you decide when, how long, how much, and all those different things at that point. So just kind of really then kind of look at your program at a glance, write it down. Okay. And you play with it, you play with time. Okay. How much time do I have in the beginning of the event? How much time do I have of content? How much time do I have of breakouts? How much time do I have a lunch break? How much time do I have getting it back in? How much time do I have for any movement, whatever the case may be? So just kind of do it. And I do it over and over again by the hour, whatever the time is, so that you can have your overview of your program, so that that helps you decide also the times and days you can do it. It also helps you decide the deliverables, and also helps you decide the pricing. Because then you can say, okay, what's this value worth to somebody? People will pay for something that they want to be able to solve a problem. What problem are you solving? And then you can price it accordingly. One of the biggest things I find that, and I encourage you to do, is that you don't have to be just you. So if you think, okay, I want to do events, I know that I can do events, but maybe I don't have enough content myself, or I can't imagine myself delivering enough content. Or like myself, when I very first started in 2007, I knew a lot of information because I've been an entrepreneur all my life, but I didn't have the confidence that I knew enough to teach people. So I brought other people in the different industries on the platform. And that's a great way to do it, because of the fact that when you bring them on with contingent upon them helping you promote it. Because if they're not willing to help you promote it, then they're just coming and going, and it's not really a benefit to you, unless it's someone who has such name power that just by calling their name or including their name on your list would bring people. But you bring other people, you have to bring other partners, other speakers, even if it's just for an entertainment break, even if it's just a special speaker, so it doesn't, if you don't want a multiple of speakers, have a special speaker, usually have them towards the end of the event. It encourages people to stay the full day and the full time to get that. But you do want them to be able to promote. You want them to be a partner with you and help you promote it, because that's the big thing with the event. Events are great, but you want to be able to promote it if you want people on it. Even if you have a small amount of people, the value is still there, because of the fact if you record it, now you've got content. And even that content that you can share on your social media or on your YouTube or other different promotional pieces that can bring people into your event, make it a bigger event. That could be part of your promotion. But you want others to be able to promote it with you. So I encourage you to get other people partnering with you. But you can also, speakers, you can get partners, and someone that's in that same industry. It doesn't even have to be in the same industry. Say, for example, you're talking about financial, or you're a financial advisor, you're talking about finances. For fun, you can have someone that's in for fashion to talk to you about how to repurpose your wardrobe or how to create different looks. So a good break, it's a fun kind of break. It takes away the monotony of, the talk, and it gives them something visual to look at. So just be able to bring those different elements in, so you can do that. Bring in promoting it. When you're doing that, you can do podcasts with your partner. So you can do a quick video, a Zoom video with someone, and what you would say is like, hi, thank you so much for joining our event that's happening on day. They're excited, you're excited about it. Tell us what you're going to share with us, or what can our audience expect from you or from the event. Let them give a chance to say what they're going to bring to the table and so forth. And then that's short and sweet, and that's something you can share to promote. That gives you content for your next email. Hey, I just want to make sure that you know that so-and-so is going to be joining us at this event, and just take a 3-minute, listen to what she has to say. That, again, it's that way. It's not all about you. Somebody may resonate with them even more so than you, and that could be the reason why they participate. And that also gives them something more collateral to share, because people will share things if it's about them. They're very happy if they're in print or in audio or video. They'll be more likely to share it. So that will give them something to share with their social media or share with their email list as well. You can also do Facebook Lives with them, the same thing, just record it on Zoom. Say, hey, we're I'm with so-and-so today, and we're excited about the event that's happening. And she's going to be talking about this, and I'm going to talk about that, or she's going to be giving away this. Invite your speakers or your partners to give something away in a drawing, and that way it's another little incentive. It should not be the reason why people attend, but this is another reason that people enjoy attending your Facebook Live. You can actually do your event in the Facebook groups. So that now when you're recording events, recording your Facebook group, that really gets your social media more engaged. You can also promote it on your meetups. If you have meetups, going to other people's meetups, speaking about it, or inviting them, people that have meetups, that have large groups, meetups, invite them to be, on your event, even if they just they monitor your breakout sessions. Like we use our board of influencers and say, and join us and we'll introduce you, but you'll also be able to host our breakout sessions. It gives them a few moments of, a spotlight, and it gives them a chance for people to get to know them and for them to get to know people. And it gives them another reason to share with their meetup group that, hey, I'm going to be here. This is a great event. Like, join us. You can do videos with the speakers. You can, do reminders. So just really set up your promotions. If you're going to have 4 speakers, say, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm going to speak with each one of them. And every day I'm going to share their information as a lead gen, and they're going to share their information, and that will promote it from that point on, along with everything else that's working, along with your emails, along with, everything else. So especially if you are trying to get people to the event so you can upsell them from the event. But even if that's not the case, if you're going to get them to a webinar, to a landing page where they're going to go so they can hear more about it and sign up from there. In any event, your promotions is your biggest part of it. And I say, if you don't have time to promote it, you don't have time to do the event. There's also ways that you can test people to promote. Like we were exploring with Fiverr yesterday. I don't have any referrals as yet, but in a couple days, or I should be able to. And we're just starting to see there's a lot of people there that can actually do SEO to promoting, not bot. Bot is like fake, people. You want to make sure that it's a real people that send out to a real list, and being able to bring in someone from the outside to promote your event, as long as you know the real people and it's your target market. Because some of the people will say, well, I will send out your email or your invitation to my list of 100,000 people. But the 100,000 children under the age of 15, that doesn't do me any good. So my market is women professionals and entrepreneurs. So that is another way that for a small amount of money, finding the right person to promote it would be helpful. People use influencers. Influencers can be more expensive, but some of the ones that are smaller are not so expensive, which means that, you get someone, again, that has a large, my definition of an influencer is someone who has a large engaged community of my market. So someone that has an engaged community of women professionals and entrepreneurs. So that's why you have to be very clear on what your niche is and then what you want and be able to follow from there. So again, you're either going to promote the event and then at the event upsell, or you're going to promote a webinar, and at the webinar you upsell them into the event. Think about how you want to do it, whatever's easiest for you. And then you think about your setups. So there are all kinds of setups. So to actually do the event, it's not going to be that difficult. You find a location. So it could be anywhere in your home, anywhere outside. I've seen people do things outside. I know once a while ago, there was a beautiful Marriott hotel in Palm Desert. They had a beautiful outside area. And during the day, it was just extremely quiet. They had so many sitting areas and just really beautiful with water in the background and so forth and so forth. So I would go and my assistant would set up the camera and I would do events there, where I'm out there and it's a beautiful location. And it was quiet enough, and people see and respect the fact that you're doing something, then they don't bother you. And even if you have a little movement, it doesn't mean it's not the end of the world. You can do it obviously in a studio. You can put a green screen. You can do it virtually, where you can do the virtual views with your Zoom and put a green screen behind you so you don't have all that movement. You can do it at restaurants. You can do it at a gym that's quieter in the day. You can do it at different places. The advantage is that, if it's the background or environment that you can work in and you're giving promotions to them, you can say, hey, today I'm at, this 4-Power Yoga. It's a quiet time because maybe there's no classes during that hour. And you're giving them promo, but they're giving you a environment that you can work with. It doesn't have to be that complicated, but if you really want something different than what you have, if you're not set up at home for it, then you can always go someplace else and do it. Kind of decide what the mood you do want, though. Do you want it lively? Do you want it up? Do you want it bright? Do you want to encourage people to, you want to kind of make it as much of a live feel as possible. So if you have the time, can encourage people to get dressed. We even had someone who said, okay, if it's white, everybody wears white on this occasion, or everyone's getting dressed up, or everyone's wearing hats. That way people actually come and they want to be on camera. That's a much more desirable for you and for everybody else to have people on camera as opposed to not. Because otherwise, when they're not, many times they're multitasking and they're not giving you 100% attention. And that means they're not going to be able to get 100% of what you're trying to deliver to them. So it's set those things up prior to, if it's important to you. Set up, what you want, what the mood and what the feel you want. So they feel like they're going to a live event. And that's why it's important to have, to have breakout sessions and things that they can actually participate in. Some people have gotten people to register and they have like a pre-event party or pre-event check-in or a pre-event get together. So like the night before, or the morning before, time before the event, they get together just to introduce themselves, say hi, how are you, blah, blah, blah. And they utilize that time to go through the event itself. Hey, this is what you're going to be expecting, and this is going to happen then. This is going to be lunch hour. This is what you're going to do for lunch, and things of that type. Some people have even, the registrants, they've sent them a box or they sent them a package with different things that they can kind of wave or do or put up, or banners or cards that they can make, or different things to keep them engaged during the event. Some people will send them, send an envelope with, I've had one where they send me boas, so they want us to come looking glamorous, or crowns, whatever the case may be. Depends on what you want and what your event's going to be like. But set the mood, set the tone, you can have music, in the beginnings, you can have videos if they're applicable to it. The only thing to caution about that, if you're using things from YouTube that are not, that you haven't gotten licensed for, then don't have it on your recording. Like what we do is we have it before our event, before we start recording, and then we stop recording maybe during a lunch hour breakout session, play the music, play the videos, and then start recording afterwards. Because if it's in the recording, then YouTube or Facebook won't show it. They'll just, won't show the video because you've violated the privacy. So if you're going to use music and videos, which I encourage you to do so, then make sure that you're aware of the fact that you don't want to own your recording, or just edit your recording so that that's out. That's part of the event, but you can always edit the recording thereafter. The thing, so, just kind of think about, again, being dressed, being present. You have, decide whether you're going to have a replay or no replay is going to be offered. If you have a replay offered, many times you'll get less attendees because people feel like I just watched the replay. Many people don't get a chance to watch the replay. So if you can say that there's no replays, have to show up live. You can record it, and you can record it for your benefits. You can record it so that if you want to make a class out of it, or a program out of it, or sell it as a, after event where you can sell for a lower price, then you can record it. But whether you make that replay available to your audience is up to you. That way they make sure they're present with no distractions and so forth. Music, videos, entertainment. Sometimes we feel have had live entertainment. We're looking for some live entertainment. If anybody knows anyone that can do music or whatever for some of our events, we'd love to have them as an intro as opposed to the videos, have someone perform live. People have had comedians, people have magicians, whatever, again, is appropriate. Breakout rooms is really fun, and I think more effective to have a question going in so that they kind of get a direction, have someone that's monitoring it, but have a question about, even if it's related to the event itself. Like one of the times when I was speaking, the question was, what age was Desiree when she started business? So it was, and then what age were you when you started business? So just kind of an icebreaker, but it just gives people a chance to guess and have fun. and be able to do that. So keep them engaged by having them post anything, even like take breaks. If you have a longer event, I've known that if after every hour, hour and a half, or 2 hours at the most, have them make a comment. So maybe after a speaker, say, have everyone goes to Facebook now and share their takeaway. What was your takeaway? What was the funniest thing? What was the saddest thing? What was your lessons learned? Get them to start posting that, because that's collateral that you can use next time when people that didn't attend see that kind of engagement. They're gonna think, oh my gosh, I really missed something. Next time they'll be more apt to participate, more apt to enroll. And it's just fun. It's just fun. And it also gives you can take screenshots of that and use that for your future promotion. So, be able to make sure that every so often they get engaged or they share their engagement, even if it's in the chat. That's also good as well. If it's in the chat and say, this is fantastic, this is great, this is wonderful, or ask them a question, get the response back, because they're keeping people engaged is really, really important, especially when they can be so unengaged when they're doing it something virtually. Having prizes, there's this wheel of fortune kind of wheel that you can get online, and then kind of get people's names in it, and they like that. Use those things to save until the end so people can hang with you towards the end. You can give prizes. It doesn't even have to be all your prizes. It could be your speaker's prize. It could be if you're at a location like a yoga studio, they can give you a free week of yoga. So it doesn't have to be all from you. Get as many people involved as you possibly can. I speak a lot on name dropping. And this falls into that category of name dropping, like doing things in different locations, getting other people to donate things or participate, because those are names that you can incorporate into your collateral, your emails. For example, prizes will be by Core Power Yoga. Somebody that likes Core Power Yoga, that would attract, like, oh, they don't know whether you're partners with Core Power Yoga. They don't know if they sponsored you. They don't know if they're partners with you. They don't know what their relationship is, but they know there's a relationship. And all of a sudden you get their eyeballs. It's like, okay, well, I'm a yogi. And this must be my type of people. I'm going to check it out. So if you are doing a bicycling, or you do hiking, or you do cooking, or just anything else, it doesn't always have to be immediately directed to your event. It could be a kind of a breakout, or just for fun. I call them just for fun. We're going to do this just to break the monotony of it all. So then be able to do that, because that utilizing those people, those companies' names that are bigger than you at this time will be an advantage for you, because people that are Googling Core Power Yoga, all of a sudden you'll come up like, oh, there's an event. Are they doing this event? You'll be able to get momentum, get traction by utilizing those names. So from your prizes to your partners to your locations, be able to do that. And you can also do like a spotlight. Okay, if there's a company that you want to develop a relationship with, okay, that you want to possibly use them as a sponsor later, then this is a great way of initiating, like dating. You get to start dating, and then you can actually go for the sponsorship or the partnership. Say, hey, I love your business. I patronize your business. I'm doing this event. I'd like to give you a 3-minute spotlight. Give it to them before you go in a breakout session, or after you come back from a breakout session. Say, hey, everybody, go in a breakout session. Come back. We have a special guest for you, or we have someone in a spotlight for you. Give them that 3 minutes. It's a long time, but it's a little time on your big schedule, but it's a long time for someone to want to be able to promote something and give something to your community. And now you're developing a relationship with them. If they get good feedback from them, it's easy for you to go to them later and say, hey, my people really love what you were doing. Your presentation was wonderful. We liked it. They got a feedback. People opted in for their, whatever there is, for a download or prize or gift. They can see they got a response, and they had fun with it, and they had fun with your tribe. Then they're going to come back more and more and more. And then we decide to say, okay, now we're looking for a partner to pay to participate. They're more apt to do it because they've already had the experience. So if there's people you should have in your mind, people that you want to gain a better relationship with, whether it's a business or individual or company, whatever it is, think about that and give them the spotlight. Also, give all your participants a spotlight. If you are doing a dance, if you're doing a music or something fun, then make sure you spotlight them, because people that are extroverts and people that are willing to get up and do that love to be acknowledged for it. They do it because they love the attention, and give them the attention. It's great because it diverts some of the attention from you, and it gives them a chance to get involved and smile or laugh or just engage in somebody else. So do not be afraid to share your stage. The more you connect people, the more community, and it's together you're doing it, then the more people will have a better time. And the movement is important, especially if it's more than 2 hours. Get them up, get them moving, get them dancing. It doesn't hurt. It's fun. Make fun of it. And it's in the budget. It's always in the budget to do that. And then also with your events, as you mentioned, you can have a pre-event event. If it's a larger event, that way you kind of get people involved, get people engaged, get people knowing each other, so you can start chatting and opening, and we're from different cities, different areas. You can also have events after the event, like maybe a VIP. So when you're selling your program, you can have your general admission, quote unquote, and you can also have a VIP. And that VIP could be a time where maybe you and your speakers, you can ask your speakers, hey, can you stay a half an hour after the event, or come the day before the event, and that time that you're getting together, or any time to be able to have a conversation with just them. So it could be an open Q&A, it could be ask me anything type of thing, it could just be a cocktail hour, it could be if it's before the event, each one of your speakers or your VIPs can share something about them, what's going to happen, and people can ask questions. People just want something private, they want something special. So it could be with your speakers, it could be even with someone that's not speaking at the event. Say, for example, you want someone to speak at the event, they're not available during that time. Say, hey, do you want to be our guest at our VIP session that we can do before or after, whatever it is? They say, sure. Okay, gives them a chance to promote themselves and their businesses. So most people will say yes. That's not an ask, it's a compliment for you to invite them to do that. Then you can say all your registrants that can be part of the incentive for early registrants. Everyone who registers by this amount, by this time rather, and they can get and pay this extra $10 or $20 or whatever it is, can be invited access to our VIP event, just as you do in real events. Sometimes they have a VIP event with, again, someone individual that's even not going to be in the major event, or the people that are part of the event, whatever way you want to do it. It can be before or can be after. We call like after parties. So we'll have the event, we'll talk about that. Anyone that registers, anyone that signs up will be invited to the after party. So that's part of your promotion during the event. You sign up, it's part of an incentive for people to sign up as well. Do it now as opposed to later, especially if it's someone that they haven't seen as part of the program, or even if it's people that have seen the program, they probably want more time with them. It could be something that's an exercise that you do. We did one exercise a couple of times where we do this exercise about how much does it cost to live your dream life, or something to that effect. And it was a really, really beautiful exercise. Each time I do it, we get the aha moments, because we have them break down the cost of their most wonderful, extravagant lifestyle. And once we do all that, we find out how much they really need to be able to make to acquire that. And many times people realize they were only making enough to survive or pay bills, but they weren't making enough to live their dream life. And so that was just one exercise that we did with the people at the after party. And we did it with cocktails, and we showed them a recipe for a cocktail that we made. And it was fun, but we actually got that done. And so you can create something like that in an after party for people that register, people that, say yes early on, or people that pay a higher price for something. And people will, because people want to be a part, another $20, $30, $50, a lot of people, depending on what your price point is, depending on your market, it's not going to make a difference. They rather be a part of something else where they feel they're special and separate. You can also offer them a special gift at that time. You can also offer them, all those people can have a special download or a special book, if it's someone that has a book, they can get a copy of this book. It could be a journal that you can have printed yourself. You can you can go to Printly, places like that, where you can have something printed and with your own logo if you want to. We have bags, we have cups, we have mugs, we even have iPhone cases, which would be any kind of iPhone. And the funny thing is that this was white and I was worried about it, but it has not gotten dirty, at all. But it still has our logo on it. So it could be something that you can give or give away or do. Because if you're charging them another 50, 60, $100, whatever it is, to spend another 10 or 20, giving them something, sending them something is just part of doing business, and it's a pleasant surprise, and people will appreciate that. And they will find more value in being that VIP or being that special person that gets involved in the after party. So I think that, at the risk of saying so much and overwhelming you, you want to be able to think about what you want to do, why you want to do it, who you want to do it for, when, where, and how you want to do it. Whether you want to do it again, being paid for the event, or use the event as a upsell to a class or course, how much you want to make. I take dollars. I say, okay, if I'm going to do this, if I can make $5,000, if I can make $10,000, if I make $100,000, let me back in the numbers. Okay, so what's the cost of my program? If my program is $2,000 and I want to make $100,000, that means I have to sell 50, right? 50 times 2, 100,000, whatever it is, do your math. If I know that I want to make $10,000 and I have $1,000 program, then I need to sell 10 of them. So just work your numbers, so that you have a goal and you can really push toward that goal. You can say, okay, I need 300 people. I need 100 people. So it's not even the amount of people. You can have 12 people on. I did one event where I had 12 people on, 10 of them purchased $1,000 product. So for me, it was fine. It was intimate. It was small. I reached my goal for that particular event. It was very easy to do. It wasn't a long event. So decide what you want to make. Because even if you make $5,000 and you get people to pay, $250 for a program, it's not that difficult. Once you do it and you set it up, how difficult can it be? Get dressed, blouse, jacket, makeup, in front of a camera, on, off, get your team members to help you with your support, and then you're done. And then have your deliverables, whatever it is. So whether you're teaching or that event is the event, or whether you're doing that event to promote a deliverable, either way. And so for the amount of work that goes into it, it's a really, really great return. And more importantly, not only monetarily, but it's a good way to engage or create community. So you can also do an event and say you're doing a mastermind, where you have them part of a mastermind where they pay monthly for something. And so that way you've done the event, you've done the promotion, but they're paying you monthly forever. And that's how you can make your money that way. There's so many different ways of structuring it. But I just encourage you to if you're thinking about doing an event, decide what you want to do, when you want to do it, where you want to do it, to whom you want to do it, and then how you want to do it. And then let's do it. Just do it. And then decide again who you want to bring on board with you so that you can duplicate and multiply your event, multiply your attendees, multiply your revenue, and multiply your fun. Have much more fun with it at that. So if you want to find out more, feel free to contact us. Contact me at homwork.com. That's HOMWORK.com. But I'm now going to open it up for questions. So thanks for joining.